Alright, welcome back to Crossstreet Garage, y'all. So, just got this 30-inch bending brake. Pretty sure, I ordered this through Jegs. I'm pretty sure it's the same one you get if you ordered through Harbor Freight. But, surprisingly, this was cheaper through Jegs, so I went that way. I mean, it seems to be the same cheap one that you would get at Harbor Freight. So we know going into this that this is going to need some modifications right off the bat. And I don't know what these hooks are for, but we'll figure all that out. I'm going to clean this off. This is, my God, it's greasy. Alright, so apparently we can bend materials up to 17 gauge steel, make up to 90-degree bends. Bends material up 30 inches wide. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't know why these don't screw in, they just kind of slide in. I guess get them out of the way when they're not in use. But these are not anywhere. They're not in the instructions at all. So if you guys know why I have two of these, let me know what they're for. They're not in my instructions. So anyway, I think I'm going to place it over here on this end of the table. I think we may have enough room. I don't bolt stuff down to the table generally. I only got one bolt anyway, so I got to get some more. But well, that won't work. Daggone it. It's not long enough, guys. Well, I don't know. I got to figure out where I'm going to mount this, but like I said, we got to make some modifications to it anyway, because this is it's very generic design. You know, where you got to place your metal underneath this. Then they want you to get C clamps, clamp it down, then bend it. I'm not going to do all that every time. It's not going to happen. One, I'm too lazy. I'll never use it if I have to go that route. So now I got to figure out where I want it. I got to go pick up some more. That paint is just flaking off it already. Really poor quality. But you know, it's metal, and if it works, it works. And it was, I want to say it was $55, you know, so that's not bad at all. I just got to figure out where I want to mount it, because right here, if I mount it right here, it's going to be in my way all the time. That's not giving me a whole lot of room, deciding on, you know, depending on what size of, you know, piece I want to bend. So we're kind of limited here. I got to give it some thought, that's all I got to say. But I can't do anything with it tonight anyway. I just wanted to open it up because it's been sitting upstairs in my living room for a week now. Yeah, I'll continue on with this once I figure everything else out, and then we'll get into doing modifications on it. I think I want to do a modification on the bead roller as well, so probably just whip it up into one video. Not sure. We'll see how things play out. Anyway, that's all. I got some cookies in the mail today from my mom and my niece. My mom made these little. My niece sent me this. I really don't know what it is, but Maddie, I'm about to try it, and well, hopefully I don't die. That's pretty good. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty good. It's like chocolate with peppermint, like white chocolate. Strong, but it's good. Well, thank you, Maddie. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, I'm gonna go on. I should probably not roll the camera while I got food in my mouth, but I can go ahead and do the modification I'm wanting to make on the bead roller. So I'm going to get to that real quick. So yeah, let's go. I had to stop the camera and finish that cookie. That thing was delicious. Good job, Maddie. Anyway, so on this bead roller, how this works is every time you finish rolling your bead into your metal, you gotta pop this, lift that up, pull your metal out. Well, this idea kind of hit me when I was thinking about, when I was planning out modifications for the bead roller. So I was thinking that I could take a small little spring, cut it to size, go right in there with it. Now, you want to make sure that whatever nut you have in spring, it's not going to interfere with this as you're tightening that. Don't ask me how I know. I haven't had that trouble. Also, I wanted to point out that I did order this 4-spoked handle off of Eastwood's website. Just because I'm going to be bead rolling by myself, and it's going to make things a little easier on me, I'm hoping. I don't know. It may not, but we'll have to see. So we got to get this off, hopefully, someday. Dear, what is going? Okay. So we got to figure out how much spring tension we're going to need. I'm just going to kind of randomly cut this spring. I picked up 2 of them in case I messed one up or lost one, like that. Just joking. That spring wasn't lost. It didn't fall. That doesn't happen to me. Anyway. Well, if I could get in here, it would make my life a whole lot easier. There we go. I'm just going to try this. So that's definitely not going to work. This bolt may not even be long enough. I think that's going to be my problem now. So let me get a different bolt. So anyway, I had to make a nut that would fit. Or not a nut, a bolt. All the ones that I had that were the right shaft size, the heads on them were too big, and when this was coming around, it was hitting it, preventing any movement, which we can't have that. So I put a couple nuts on the bottom down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a couple tack welds on there, weld those together, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So anyway, I've welded those 2 nuts together, and I'm going to take this apart because I want to remove this block here. I'm going to go welding on this block, so make sure that well, you drop things everywhere. First off, that's important. Make sure these are greased up. because you don't want to heat that up. You're gonna fight it turning it. Again, don't ask me how I know. It's not like I've done this. But let's get this block out of here. And I've got a mark on there where I'm going to weld that to. So I'm going to, that's greasy, which is good. We want greasy. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit and I'll weld on it. Then I'll show you what I got happening. Alright guys, so what I've done is I have this nut with the spring back here, and I've got it going, you can't even get you back there, but I got the two nuts, I got the bolt up here with the spring, got two nuts down here, got it threading into that so I can remove it if I want to. So the big question is, did this project actually work? And I got this, daggone it, I need to cut this shut. But I got this, this was one of the patch panels that was in the wheelies. I'm going to see, we've got plenty of room to slide it through there now, so let's go ahead and tighten that down on there. So it did put a bead in there. So let's see. This should, when I loosen it up, bring this back up. Which I don't know if you saw that or not. Let's go slow motion here. So there we are, all the way down. We're going to focus in on the gap right between these two. Undo it. Well, did it come up? I don't know. Let's see if we can slide a piece of metal in there. Let's find out. So yeah, so it's coming up on its own. It's dropping down. There it's. Yeah. You don't have to give it as much fight, you know. You just have to give it a little. It'll come up. So, all in all, do I think this project's worth tackling? No, not at all. For a couple reasons. One, you really run the risk of burning up this bearing, and you don't want to do that. Which I was putting stuff together for the bead roller, for the project on the bead roller, and I found these smaller springs, and I thought, hey, let's do this. So I wouldn't attempt it personally. If you got one of these bead rollers that are like this, I wouldn't attempt it. I think there's too much risk in doing it, burning up that bearing. It's too time consuming just for what it does. But that's why we're here, to live and learn, right? So anyway, I'll get, after I go to the hardware store tomorrow, I'm gonna get on doing that bending brake. So yeah. But all in all, don't try this. It's stupid. It's a dumb idea. I'm probably going to wind up, that spring's going to probably lose all its elasticity. Is that what you would call it? Springiness? Pop? So it's probably just going to wind up coming out anyway, and I took a huge risk in doing it. I don't even know if you can order just this block. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to go eat some cookies, because I got Christmas cookies in the mail today, which you saw earlier. And I'll get back to you tomorrow on that, and we'll go from there. Well, guys, just got back from the hardware store. Picked up some of the necessary pieces and picked up some burritos as well. What? Oh, Boys in the Hood? Yeah, great movie. I don't know if you knew, this is John Singleton's first real movie after film school. Went on, I think he made the movie in 1991, went on to be one of the most important cultural movies of our time. Starring Cuba Gooding Jr. You gotta say that one slow. You know, and Ice Cube as well. You know, I don't know if you know this, but John Singleton actually wanted the entire cast of NWA in his movie. But we're talking 1991 here. Now, Ice Cube left NWA in '89, so that wasn't going to happen. NWA pretty much ended in 1991, so they were already on the outs there. There was that whole Suge Knight scene, you know, going on, and anyway, that was just a mess. So that was, it just wasn't going to happen. So John Singleton said, well, if I can't have NWA, I want Ice Cube. Smart choice. Ice Cube didn't want to do the movie though, but he was working on America's Most Wanted, I believe, at the time. And yeah, but John Singleton hounded him, finally got him to do the movie, and that's where Ice Cube got his start in movies. Now he's got Cube Vision, you know, multi-billion-dollar industry right there. So anyway, there's a little gangster rap knowledge for you today. But what we got is I picked up these. I don't even know what you call these. They're bolts with a hook on the end of them. They're gonna work great. So I got these springs. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move my burritos. I don't know if you guys, let's get you guys in here a little better. So anyway, we'll take this piece of angle iron, and basically I'm going to run this screw through there. I'm just going to go through the spring, and I'll weld this nut onto the base down here. And then we won't have to position this every time, but I've got to get in here. I've got to do a little slicing, dicing, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get to some of that after I finish my burrito. Actually, I got 2 burritos, so maybe a minute. And we'll see if this one's gonna work. I don't know. The one yesterday with the bead roller, total fail. I mean, it does work. Wasn't worth the time. This one I think will be worth the time. Now, like I say, I don't like to clamp stuff or to mount stuff to my table. I do have these pony. I don't know if they're any good or not, but we're going to test on those. So that's going to, if I bring this to the edge of the table, we're going to see if those will hold it in place if I put one on both sides when I go to bend. If not, I'm going to have to come up with something else. I may wind up drilling holes in my table. I don't like to do it, but we'll see. But what I'm doing here is I got this piece of angle iron. I've got that bar, the bending bar, down here, set into place. I went ahead and flipped this up where it's actually a little beyond the 90-degree bend, which is fine because it's going to, your metal's going to retract a little bit. It's going to try and flop back into place. So I push that bar all the way forward. Now I push that angle iron forward to where it's not going to interrupt with the movement of this. Now I got that squared off there. And down on this other end, we have a lot of angle iron hanging over, so I got to break out, get your white paint marker. Figure out where you want to make that cut. something like that. I'll trace that onto the other side. I'm cutting from the other side, and then I'll get back with you guys. Show you what I got going on. So anyway, I laid this out. Got my line drawn on there. Looks like I got to remove about 13.5 inches off this piece of angle iron. You know, this came out of the scrap pile, but I picked up metal. I believe it's Metal Supermarket, something, I don't know. But whenever I'm working up in that area, I just kind of swing in. They have what they call the drop area, where they throw scrap, stuff that they've cut off. They have it sitting there, it's 50% off. I go in, see if there's anything I can use, generally pick up a piece or two, and throw it in my scrap bin. So I'm gonna cut this, and we'll get on that. We want to talk to you all about safety, though, because I feel it's important. So, as goofy as it may look, I like to wear these. They go all the way around the side. And then pick you up a pair of these. These are like $12, $13, something like that. But your ears aren't going to be ringing after you're done working. This stuff puts off high decibels. You can't be too safe. Don't play around with your eyes, your lungs. If you need a respirator, get one. Your ears. It's important stuff, guys. Okay, so the next step in this process is this here. It's got a lip where that piece of metal for the bending brake sits on. We got to cut that lip out because we want this to be able to have a little movement to it. There I go, destroying brand new tools. Guys, it's time for me to have my other burrito, but basically, as you can see what I did. You can see this. I cut this off, ground that down to where that's pretty flat. My next step is going to be welding the piece of angle iron. I want to double check the fitment and everything before I do that. So, yeah, let me have my burrito, if you don't mind. I mean, I'll edit it out, so you're not going to have to sit there and watch me eat a burrito. So. Okay, so what I've decided I'm going to do is I went ahead and set this all up there on making sure nothing hits, making sure that bending brake is right on the line. I'm just going to go ahead and weld it while I got it sitting there. I don't know, hopefully it works. We'll find out, right? I mean, have I let you guys down yet? Well, I mean, outside of earlier with the bead roller, and well, a couple other things, but outside of that, have I let you down? Okay, don't answer that. So I honestly think that's going to be enough to hold it. I mean, we're not building motor mounts here. And luckily it didn't get too hot. I was worried about it getting hot and warping this piece, but that didn't happen. So the next thing we got to do is we got to figure out the position for these. Center this up. I didn't think I was ever going to get through this. I wore down the cordless drill, put in the electric drill, and I need some better drill bits, guys, because man, I was just working on the old Triceratops there, you know, and I don't like to work out. I'm not gonna lie. You will never find me working out. You'll find me working, but working out, no, not gonna happen. I walk like 5 to 10 miles a day at work. So, working out, no. Not on this guy's radar. So anyway, I dumped a bunch of oil on this. Trying not to heat up that bit too much. I stepped it out too, you know, I went slowly. I went 1/4 inch on up until my last raw was the 1/2 inch bit. And she just fought me on that last bit. So I actually turned the camera off because I didn't want to see you guys I didn't want you guys to see me struggling that much. But I was definitely riding the old struggle bus. So I'm going to spray this down with some brake clean now and just try to get some of this oil off here. About out of brake clean, so looks like I'm going to be making a trip. I'm going to get in the zone today because after this I've got work to do on the willies, and so that'll be more fun videos. Yay. Maybe somebody can give me a drill press. That'd be nice. Anybody want to buy me a drill press? Probably not. I was giving some stuff away for free. I've been cleaning out the side of the shop. where my dad passed away a few years ago, we accumulated a lot of stuff, or I accumulated a lot of stuff over here in my garage. Take this piece of black iron. I'm going to make myself a couple washers. Well, I think that'll do it, so. Yeah, guys, I'm starting to feel like we might actually get to bend a piece of metal today. Now, don't hold me to that, because alright, so I'm going to clean up a little bit, and then we're going to test this. Right now, this place is it's a mess. And I can't, I'm OCD. I can't work like this. I can't do it. Alright guys, so here's what we got. We got the Jegs slash, I'm sure it's Harbor Freight, 30-inch bending brake. Now I just got these handle clamps holding it down to the table. What you can see we did was we took this piece of angle iron, welded it on there, and got these eyelet screws here to loosen up, and I got a washer spring, of course. Welded a nut down here, did the same on the other side. That way you don't have to break out the C clamps every time, because what they want you to do is put a C clamp in certain areas, and that way it's going to hold this piece of metal down. But that's just too much work if you ask me. So we're going to test it out now a little bit. I don't know if these clamps here are going to hold it, but that's going to be part of the test, because like I said before, I really don't like drilling holes into the table. Yeah, so I got this piece of galvanized. Generally, when I'm doing tests, I like to use this galvanized, or make funny sounds. You know, because I have a lot of it laying around, because I do HVAC for a living. So first, I want to test. I'm never going to bend metal that's going to be this thin. Probably not anyway. I mean, not for any structural purposes. So I can see that it's not sliding underneath there, so we're clamped down pretty good. So we're going to loosen these. And see now those springs pop that up a little bit. Now you can't bend real thick metal with this to begin with, so you can still lift it up right there if you need to. So we're just gonna go. We're just gonna make a bend. See what happens. We're gonna go right to the edge of that. Tighten these down. It does wobble a little bit, so you kind of have to position it as you're tightening it down. So I'll just stand over here and we'll right to 90 degrees. Okay. So let's just loosen one side, maybe. There we go. So let's try another bend. I guess technically if you're working with a small piece like this, you really only need to loosen and tighten one side. Try and make a box here. I don't know if it's gonna, we'll see. That'll probably be it at its limits as far as making a box. But you make yourself a little box, isn't that neat? Anyway, so obviously it does work. Just gonna make a few more bends here for the heck of it. Why not? So yeah, it does actually. It makes a nice little bend. It's, you know, probably gonna have to play with it a little bit to get the exact angle that you want, because it does kind of roll back on itself. It's a smooth bend, we'll say. But and for some reason these, they don't screw in, they just pop out, like I said before. And I'm guessing that's for just so you can take them out real quick, so they're not out here in the way. People aren't bumping into them. So the big question, guys, do I feel like this project was worth tackling? And that's an absolutely. I do. I would have been wound up fighting this thing more than using it, and I eventually would have got mad and just either done this or purchased another one. Yeah, unlike the bead roller project, that was a well, it's not an utter failure, it's just not worth doing. But this is 100% worth doing. So, you know, you can take this was $55. I just typed in 30-inch brake press, or whatever they call it, brake bender, brake press, whatever. And I hit the shopping button, and on Google I just hit shopping and seen them all different sizes or all different prices. And you know, there are some different brands out there, but they're all the same, and it might be a different color, but it's the same setup. Jegs had this one for $55, which was the cheapest I saw, and like I say, it was cheaper than the Harbor Freight one, which I believe is the same one. Harbor Freight one is $70 for theirs, so I bought this one. That's the only reason. I didn't buy it because it came from Jegs. I just bought it because it was cheapest. And so yeah, I absolutely do believe this is a worthwhile project if you need a metal brake on occasion. If you're using one all the time, you might want to invest a little bit more money, get a better one. I'm not going to be using it a lot. So $55, and I don't know, we're going to say $20 in scrap metal and these little hooks and stuff. So let's say I got $70 in the whole thing. Well, that's what Harbor Freight wanted for theirs to begin with. They wanted $69.99. I'd say I've got $70 in it, and I don't know, it wasn't an hour's worth of work. So yeah, I believe this is worth it. So you should definitely, you know, do it if it suits your needs. If it doesn't, don't do it. You know, it's going to help me out on the Willys project a little bit. It's the only reason I got it. Anyway, also my friend JB started his own YouTube channel. He's got a couple videos up now. He's got a big old Cummins, and he beats the ever living crap, snot, whatever out of this thing. You know, he's got more money in it than he's got a lot of money in it. So I'm going to drop a link down in my description, so you can go check him out if you're into that. If you're into watching, you know, somebody absolutely destroy a nice diesel pickup truck, go check him out, because it's kind of funny. But you'll remember JB. He was over here on the helped me with my brakes on this on the Willys, and took the initial ride with me. So give him a follow. Yeah, so outside of that, be back on the Willys as soon as possible. So see you guys.